Some more about this now with the summer spokesperson, Leslie Mofokeng, who joins us via Zoom from here in Johannesburg. Leslie, thank you so much for joining us. This story really got tongues wagging today. Before we get into a way forward, which I'm sure you want to focus on, talk to me about the timeline here, because I do believe it was only at the beginning of the month that there was a big announcement that the KZN announcing that would be the new host for the SAMAs, part of a 3-year partnership with the province's Department of Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs. That was just at the beginning of the month. And we're not even at the end of that month officially yet, and they've pulled out and seemingly left you high and dry. What, from your understanding, what's been communicated to you, happened since that announcement at the beginning of the month?
Marcel, thank you for inviting us. Good evening to you and the viewers at home. I need to first start by saying that the announcement made by the MEC this morning caught us by surprise. We did not see it coming. We didn't, the department unfortunately did not take us into their confidence to let us know that this was going to be the case. So we've spent this morning as RISA coming to terms with this announcement and trying to make sense of it. And we issued a statement earlier today where we talk about how this apolitical cultural asset has become so politicized, and the fact that the industry will continue to suffer for as long as politicians and the society looks at it and not give it the credit that it belongs, that it deserves. We are a big contributor to the economy of South Africa. We are a conduit of culture and repositories of culture, and we need to be respected a bit more. Now, going back to the timeline, yes, indeed, it has been about 3 weeks, if not 4 weeks, since we announced KZN as our host province for the summers with much fanfare in Soweto. And we were looking forward to working with the department and celebrating our musicians in the province, because the province has so much to offer. And we totally believed in the proposition that was put on the table for us by the province as well as the RISA office. And we've been hard at work in the past 3 weeks, putting together the show, consulting people on the ground in KZN, as well as activating. We had plans to activate across the country to get South Africans to rally behind the musicians, and also to head out to KZN to experience the beautiful province, the beautiful people, and of course to take part in this carnival that was going to celebrate our musicians on the 17th and the 18th of November 2023.
Leslie, what happens now? Do you have legal recourse? Because one would assume that contracts were signed when you announced that 3-year deal. And have you already started thinking about how much money this is going to cost you?
Marcel, the thing about it is that a lot of things happened this morning. And as I said, we spent a lot of the day coming to terms with the announcements. We have not had a chance to speak to our contractual partners. The KZN government, the department continues to be our contractual partner. We do have a 3-year contract with them. Those discussions are yet to happen so that we can understand what's next. And most importantly, what are we going to do for the next 3 years? So unfortunately, it's still too early for us to say at this point, but I can say that we are really determined as RISA to honor our musicians. We have a promise to them that we made. We already announced the nominees. We've got only 2 months left for the year, and we really have to make sure that this happens and not leave our musicians high and dry.
Now, there obviously were accusations made by opposition parties that this event was a conduit to looting of some kind. How does your organization feel about being linked to those kinds of accusations? And do you think there could be some kind of brand damage done to the brand of the SAMAs as a result of that?
It actually is unfortunate and regrettable that the SAMA would be caught up in this kind of debate and this kind of talk. I mean, we, as I said in the beginning, we are an apolitical organization. Ours is just to celebrate the music industry, to celebrate the musicians. And, you know, as organizers of the SAMA, we've been hosting the SAMAs for 29 years. That is a rare feat. A lot of award ceremonies in the country and on the continent cannot brag about that milestone. And we remain, I mean, we survived COVID, we survived the most difficult conditions. And standing where we are right now, we are disappointed, but we are not defeated. We believe that the SAMA is a resilient brand. It is very much entrenched in the South African popular culture. And we understand that musicians are discerning enough to see politics. And that we have seen in the reaction of the industry. A lot of industry figures, entertainment figures have come out in full support of the SAMA to say we cannot allow the SAMA to die. We have to stand up and protect the SAMA because it's such an important cultural asset. Without it, where is the industry? So despite everything that has happened, we are convinced that the SAMA is still a brand that you can count on, that is dependable, that still stands up for the musician and will continue to do so. And as I said, we are determined, we are committed still this year to honor our nominees and excellence in the industry.
We are heading into a busy time of year in terms of corporates and creative events and all of the wheels that are turning in those industries now, especially post-COVID. Are you still hoping to stick to those dates in November for the awards to take place? And I know you said it was too early to say, but do you now say to the different metros, you know, pitch to us and we'll bring our awards to you? How does this all work now?
Well, I wish it was that easy, but it really is not. And we will be regrouping. Our CEO, Advocate Nanda CBC, will have a summit as RISA, you know, and all stakeholders to see what next. Really, what happened today was for us to come to terms with this announcement and to stand up and say that the SAMA is a credible brand. It has proven itself over the years, and it cannot be reduced to just cheap politicking. And we are disappointed that the creative industry, the creative economy, is the one that always suffers when we talk about tightening belts, when we talk about cleaning up and all of that. It's our musicians that suffer. The net losers in all of this is the industry, is the musician. How will we end this cycle of talking about artists dying as paupers if we don't take it seriously, if we don't give the credit this industry deserves? It contributes to the GDP. It's traveling the world. Just yesterday, we had a South African musician performing on a big show in America. Just this year, we had big musicians in South Africa winning big awards like the Grammys. We're taking over the world. And it's disappointing that we find ourselves in this position. And we hope for a quick resolution, but we remain determined that this year, Summer 29 nominees and winners will be honored.
So you don't want to break the news here that as soon as that announcement was made by Durban, that you started getting phone calls from Port Elizabeth, Gqeberha, or Cape Town, or Polokwane, or Sun City to say, hey, we've got room for you in November?
Marcel, I can tell you that on social media, on all of our platforms, people have been pitching names to us, including here in Pretoria, well, next door Pretoria, here in Johannesburg, back to Sun City, all of those. As I said, I hope it was that easy. The summer is actually it's a mega project. It costs a lot of money and a lot of organization goes into it. For people who don't know, the summer is a 365-day operation. Immediately as the summers end, we begin the new cycle planning. So it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money, a lot of effort to put this together, especially when we have ambitious plans of pitching the event as a world event, as a world-class event. And as when you look at the caliber of our musicians, I'm sure you'd agree with me that they are world-class. And when it's time for us to honor them, we have to do justice. And we are hoping that with the little time we have left, maybe by some luck, we'll find a metro that's willing to accommodate us and give us a home. But for now, we will be regrouping. We will be finding new direction. We'll be finding a new way of making sure that Summer 29 goes ahead. Because we're beginning a new cycle. Next year is a big year. It's the Summer 30th. And it's a celebration of our democracy, 30 years of democracy. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening next year. We've got big plans to celebrate this milestone, especially because it's really rare in this country to find an award ceremony that has gone on for so long and has become part of the fabric of the not only the entertainment industry, but actually the economy, wherever it gets staged.
Well, there you have it. If you're a metro or somebody in charge of a metro or a city in South Africa, slide into SAMA spokesperson Leslie Mofokeng's DMs, and perhaps you will be announced as the new hosts of the South African Music Awards. Leslie, thank you so much for your time joining us virtually from here in Johannesburg. He was referring there to South African singer Tyler, young pop singer, 21 years old, seen as the next big thing in the music industry, appearing in on the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, one of the biggest talk shows in the world. 2 million followers on Instagram, and it seems her star is only on the way up.